It's going to be a fight to finish between Arsenal and Manchester City by the time they meet at the FA Cup fourth round. A good one for Arsenal winning against Oxford United. Welcome you on the show. 360 Sports on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. We look at a lot of stories. Quickly, we start from Nigeria, where NFF actually outlined some that has to do with the FA Cup, or the activities that has to do with the FA Cup. The schedules right now coming from Nigerian Football Federation. They actually outlined that a lot of activities that has to do with Federation's Cup. The sponsor right now, ITO Cup, seems to have backed out concerning all that happened last year. Let's look at those particular updates that are coming from the Nigerian Football Federation. Club registration at the state level starts from 16th January, while submission of players' forms for license holds between 31st January to 6th February 2023. Preliminary and final of the competition at the state level will commence on 18th and ends on 19th March 2023. Submission of 2 teams that will represent each state at the national level should be submitted to the state FA on 20th March, while playoff round and national draw date will be determined by the NFF. Coming from Nigerian Football Federation, they are trying to give us update concerning how the Federation's Cup will be going for this year. We're having the studio, Olawale Peters.
Yeah, good morning, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here once again. A good one from the NFF. I think this time around they are trying to get it right, sincerely. What we've seen since they started, the new executive, it's much better than what we've been seeing before, but it's too early for us to call. Maybe they are just looking at, okay, the momentum that has been gathered before they came on board is like, we don't have any hope when it comes to the domestic league. Maybe they are trying to do abracadabra for us, okay, for the first 1-2 weeks to see how it is. But kudos to them for having a good process and by carrying people along, unlike what we had before. That communication gap is always bridging. We don't really know what happens until the wee hours. But this time around, they're always coming out by giving us the accurate information. And if there is a change in what they've planned already, they will still come out and tell us. That's very fantastic. However, my advice, they should try and have a implementation and monitoring team in the NFF. As a whole, so this team will be responsible to monitor the process and make sure that the states and the clubs, they implement what the NFF have said, not until when it is February 14th that they will not discover that, oh, nobody have submitted names. You don't wait until that deadline. So they need to have that in place to be sure that, okay, we'll have a team. Their own job, their own responsibility is to monitor all these our programs, okay, and make sure that the state, they implement it to the latter, so that we're not going to have an issue. They shouldn't wait until they don't have that currently now. So I think that is lacking. If we have that, you know, we'll keep improving on daily basis, and once we have this, take it or leave it, Nigeria will get back to the Nigerian domestic league, will get back to the Nigerian domestic league that we used to know in the 80s and in the 90s. Let's give it to them. When they do something good, we'll applaud them, and when they do something bad, we're going to do what? We'll bash them also. So
and now, from what you have just said, that at least giving such an update is really good for our football development. We need to know what's happening. We should not be kept in the dark most of the time when they are doing anything. So good one coming from Nigerian Football Federation, trying to at least update Nigerians concerning the Federation's Cup, formerly known as ITO Cup. But last season, we saw what happened. Finally, Kwara United was picked to represent Nigeria at the CAF Confederations Cup. And since then, the Federation's Cup has been on a quiet level. But right now, it's coming back, and NFF actually rolled out all the schedule of events that will be happening concerning the year from January 31st to 6th February. Submission of players' form and for license hold by that time. Preliminary and final of the competition at the state level will be commencing from 19th March, while submission of 2 teams that represent each state at the national level should also be submitted by 28th of March. Playoff and national draw will be determined by the Nigerian Football Federation. An update there for the Federation's Cup, the oldest competition in Nigeria. In fact, almost all the countries in the world, the FA Cup seems to always be the oldest. And now let's go international. Well, a good one for Arsenal as they were able to defeat Oxford United 1-2-3. Good one for them. Arsenal, after that win, someone actually said, that laugh, I hope it will last.
Okay, I hope the Arsenal team, they will have the and they will have what it takes to withstand the pressure that is coming to them. Now, there are a lot of pressure coming to them right now. The gap was about 7 or 8 before, but now it's 5. I'm talking about the Premier League. Now they are playing FA Cup with Manchester City. You said during the opening of the show that it's a fight to finish. To me, it's not a fight to finish.
Okay, it's a one-way fight.
No, it's not going to be a one-way fight. It won't be like the trashing of Chelsea. We're going to see a very good football. But what Arsenal team they need right now is they need that maturity. And they need how to be self-motivated even when they are losing. Because my fear for them now is things are going well for them. All their fans in Nigeria, they've turned to Chelsea fans that we don't even hear words again. We can't breathe, we can't do anything again. They've taken over from the Chelsea that they used to call Agbero. Their own noise is even modern. So they should be prepared for what is coming. That's why I said it's not a fight to finish. So they shouldn't put that pressure on themselves. The fact that they are on top of that table doesn't mean they are the best team in the Premier League. That's the truth. At times, the best team doesn't win the league. So the FA Cup between them and the Man City also, they should have their own target. What is their target? Is their target to win Premier League, or to win treble, or to win FA, or to play Champions League? So you shouldn't just go all out at once. They want to play in all the competition and dominate everything. They don't have the depth of the squad to do that one. They don't have the experience to do that one. If they lose against Manchester City, which most pundits will agree with me that they are going to lose. If they do, and they now lose their next match again, because if you look at their next fixtures, they have about 5 top fixtures. They are playing Tottenham, they are playing Everton, they are playing Manchester City again, they are playing United. So they have about top 4-5 matches to play between now and February. If they should lose against Manchester City, and they lose their next match in the Premier League also, take it or leave it. The Arsenal that I know, it will affect their morale. So they shouldn't put the pressure on themselves right now that, oh, it's a must-win for us with the FA Cup. They should play it low. They should play it low as if it is not important to them. That is the mindset I want Mikel Arteta to play. Get your focus right. My focus is to win Premier League, which I think they have what it takes
to win.
No, to try.
To win.
To try. They have what it takes to try.
I agree with all your analysis, but really, I know Man City got the depth. In fact, the second 11 can actually play Arsenal, the third 11 can actually play Arsenal. But from the way it is, don't you think with all this, Arsenal cannot just be fired up to perform against Manchester City?
No, they can. That's what I'm trying to say here. They can, but if they should go all out, like, oh, it's a do or die, that we must win, and they didn't win, it will affect their psyche, it will affect their morale, it will affect their performance. Against Newcastle, they play 0-0, and we saw what happened. So anytime they are losing, they don't have that. If you meet a team that they know how to frustrate, you have the like of Materazzi, you have the like of Luzares in a team, and they are playing against Arsenal. Takes a little bit, 2 or 3 of their players will get a red card.
Because they will frustrate
them. Because they will frustrate you. They know what they want to do. They will frustrate, like, there are players in Arsenal team that...
The
key player that I will go and frustrate. Once I frustrate them, they will lose form. They can get yellow card in the first 10 minutes. Once you get the yellow card in the next 10 minutes, take it or leave it. You'll be careful of what will happen next. So they need to really watch that. It affected them last season. If you watch their match against Liverpool, even against Manchester City also, they were frustrated. Either you are frustrated by the players you are playing with, you are frustrated with the referee, or you are frustrated with the VAR itself. So the frustration can come in any way. So they should have that mindset to absorb that one. That is what I'm saying. Okay? So they shouldn't go all out that it is a do or die affair. Like I said, they should get their priority right. It is now a decade. A decade means over 10 years that they last won Premier League. So that Premier League, I think, should be their topmost priority. So that if anything happens in the FA, you still have a fallback. You play against a Manchester City that they have depth, okay, like you rightly said, and you now, Arsenal, you play your first 11 against the Manchester City during the FA Cup. You now lose, and you have a lot of futures to still play 3, 4, 5 days to come, so they can't perform optimally. That will affect their performance. That is my take here. But if they want to win treble, let them go ahead and do it.
Well, let's see if Arsenal can actually get that particular advice and see how they can get the best out of all these competitions. Well, the FA Cup right now, they'll be facing Manchester City. With all their cylinders, can they beat Man City? Well, we'll wait to see by the time they meet at the 4th round of the FA Cup. Not forgetting the Premier League battle is still there. They were also being trailed by Manchester City, 5-point adrift between Arsenal and the citizens, as they call them. From there, let's talk about Spanish La Liga. It was a stalemate between Atletico Bilbao and Osasuna. That particular match ended with no goal scored. Right now, both of them sharing a spoil there. And if you look at the way the table is standing, right now, let's look at the first 10, where both of them right now belongs. Well, Atletico Bilbao and Osasuna now, they are standing both 7th and 8th on the law with 26 points for Bilbao and also 24 points for Osasuna with no goal difference. And you have 10 for Atletico Bilbao. At least trying to join all the big boys in the Spanish La Liga is a big deal for the two teams.
Yeah, it was an opportunity for Atletico Bilbao yesterday to move to 4th position.
If they have won.
If they had won that match yesterday, it would take them from 26th to 29th. And if you look at how tight the table is now, the difference between the 7th position and the 4th position is just 3 points. So that means nobody is ready to lose sleep. Once you just blink unnecessarily, you'll be overtaken. If you watched the match yesterday, it was an Atletico Bilbao match to lose because they had more possession, they had more shots on target, 17-4. So from the 17 attempt they had yesterday, they couldn't convert 1 or 2 to make it go. So it's like the Osasuna, they went with a game plan, defensive. I'm not going to win you, but I'm not going to allow you to win me. Let's see what happened in the first half. If you're able to score, I will come out. If you're unable to score, I will sit back. And it's really worked for them yesterday. You had 17 chances, you couldn't score, and they had only 3. And from the 3 they had yesterday, they had 2 on counter-attack. So that means they sit back more than coming out to attack them yesterday. So let's see what happened. The table is still very fresh. Anything can still happen. The
table is still very fair. Let's go back to that table now. We talked about Barcelona and Real Madrid. Looking at the La Liga table, we're talking about what is happening there. La Liga now, the top guys, Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's going to be a tough one anyway, although Barcelona are already trying to widen the gap by extra 3 points, 29 goal difference, 20 for Real Madrid. And right now, if Barcelona are able to widen it more, do you think Real Madrid can actually catch up?
Okay, I think the Barcelona team, they have more at stake to lose than the Real Madrid. What do I mean now? Their concentration right now, their main goal right now is to win La Liga. It has been long when they lift the trophy. So from Champions League, we saw the performance, the heart of the league. So they don't have any core concentration than La Liga. However, Real Madrid, they are still fighting in all
competitions.
Fronts. All front, they are still fighting because they still want to have their hands on Champions League, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and what have you. While the Barcelona, they are concentrating only on the La Liga. So that is an advantage for them. I hope they stay true to that course. However, the gap between them is just 3 points, and they still have El Clasico to play. That may be the determinant of who win the league. Goal difference go against in La Liga. If you both tie on the same points, they will look at head-to-head rule. That's what they do in La Liga. Head-to-head rule in the sense that, okay, when Real Madrid and Barcelona played at Santiago Bernabeu, who won? What was the goal margin? When they played at Nou Camp, who won? So that will determine who wins the league. If at the end of the day, they ended up with the same point. But I don't see that one happening. Whoever is going to win will win with maybe 2, 3, or 5 points. They still have a lot of matches to play. The Osasuna that we spoke about with Atletico Bilbao, when Osasuna plays play Barcelona, we know what normally happens. Atletico Madrid are still going to play Real Madrid. Atletico Bilbao is still going to play Real Madrid. So we still have a lot of semi-derby, real derby, and surprises can happen. So it is still too early to call. And also the Real Madrid, they have a coach that I refer to as a gentle giant. It's very calculated. He knows how to win a game when it matters most. Don't be surprised. they can still overtake Barcelona.
It is very possible. Anything can see happen over there in La Liga. Giving you updates concerning that particular match between Atletico Bilbao and Osasuna that ended in a stalemate in that particular match there. Now, let's go Italian. Let's speak some Latin. Anyway, the Scudetto race is still on. Matches were actually played just yesterday. Let's look at the result. Italian result where Hellas Verona, they defeated Cremonese 2-0. And you have Bologna losing against Atalanta. Atalanta came sore and conquered in that particular game against Bologna. Now, transferring that to the way the table is standing in the Italian Serie A, you have Atalanta now standing 6th with 31 points after playing 17 matches with a goal difference of 8. AS Roma are now trailing them. AS Roma was actually ahead before the match, but now they've overtaken them by the virtue of goal difference, having 8, while Roma, they have 5. Now you look at, well, if we flip the table now to the second side of the table, let's look at it. Lecce are standing 11. Bologna, who actually lost against Atalanta there, they have 19 from 17 matches with a -7 goal difference. And you go straight down, Hellas Verona are right now, despite their win, they only jump over Sampdoria to 18th. They have 9 from -15 goal difference and 17 as the game they have played so far. You have Cremonese now down to the log with 7 points after playing 17 matches. A woeful performance from the newcomers, having -18 goal difference.
Newcomers is like they're going back to where they came from.
Where they came from.
Because it's like they're not really prepared, or they don't know what it takes to be in Serie A.
It takes strength for you to stay. When you come to the top league in your country, like La Liga, Serie A, EPL, for you to maintain that status quo of staying there, it takes strength.
Yeah, it takes strength. That's why I said the leagues in all countries divided into 4. Number 1, those that wants to play in Champions League, those that want to compete for the trophy, those that my own. I don't want to win anything.
I just want to remain.
I just want to remain playing here. Then those that will be fighting relegation battle every year. So, and there's some people that they are specialists when it comes to fighting relegation. You see them at the bottom of the table. You see them 19, 18, but they always find a way to move on. And those teams are the teams that they are very difficult to play with because they will play 10-1. 10-1 means 10 defense, 1 attacker. So they don't want to win anything. They just want to be gathering 1-1. But the way the La Liga is like
Italian Serie A.
Italian Serie A is like they want to go back to where they came from. And for the Atlanta also, I think they are trying to continue to be relevant.
I love their consistency for the past 3-4 years.
For the past 4 years, they are trying to be relevant. They want to be a force to be reckoned with, not only in Italian Serie A, even in Europe also. Okay, what I need to do is, okay, let me continue to play in either Champions League or Europa Cup for the next 4-5 years. Let me use that to get more revenue for myself. When I get more revenue for myself, I'll be able to make brand name for myself as a club. So that will now be very easy for me to attract good players that will come and take. It's a strategy. And the strategy is actually working for them. You can see them now when you talk about Juventus, you talk about AC Milan, you talk about Atlanta.
Of course.
If Atlanta is playing against Lazio today, if they are playing against Inter, AC, Roma, or what have you,
respect will be there.
It's going to be more like a derby because they've already proven themselves to be. So it takes them 4 years to do that. And I'm sure in the next 2-3 years, the Atlanta we are seeing today will not be the Atlanta we are seeing again, because by that time they will have gotten all what they needed to do what? To move on to the table. Look at Lazio also. They've been consistent also. For the past 4-5 years, they've been consistent. And look at them currently now. You can see the gap between them. No, sorry, I'm talking about Napoli.
Napoli, yes. Topping the league.
Topping the league currently right now. They've been there for the past 3-4 years. And look at where they are right now. Topping the league. You can see the difference between them and Juventus. 44 to 37.
Good, so that's 7 points.
7 points. And the way they are right now, I don't think they are ready to sleep and they are ready to relax.
They are not ready.
The next team to them that is pursuing them, old lady. Maybe the old lady will get tired the way they used to get tired in the middle of the season, and they will continue winning. So what they just needs to do is to keep on winning the momentum, winning their matches. They don't need to bother themselves about the Juventus behind them, AC Milan, Inter Milan. They should just concentrate on winning their own game. And if they do that, if they should win the Scudetto this season, probably I see Osimhen leaving. Because by that time, you like, I've won it.
So what else? I need to go for Champions League now.
I need to go for the Champions League right now. So a good one for them.
Let's see what will be happening concerning Osimhen and his club Napoli at the city of Naples, where they ply their trade. We're talking about the Serie A there, where Atalanta really have been among the big boys so far in this season. While now standing behind Lazio, they are fighting hard to see how they can retain that position. Consistency is the key, coming from Atalanta there. And now let's talk about at least two players who just yesterday they described as the day of retirement in football, starting with Gareth Bale. Gareth Bale retires from football at the age of 33. He has seen it all, according to him. Well, after considering so many things, he just has to put up his retirement note. Okay,
a good one for him. Sincerely, there's no how the Wales, they will talk about football in their history without making a reference to him.
Gareth.
He has almost all the record. He has a record of the most caps player, 111. He has the most goals scored, 41 goals. He was the youngest player to ever play for them at the age of 16 years. So when you're seeing a player retiring at the age of 33, our Nigerian mentality or African mentality will be like, just 33 years old. It's not some people will be 30 and they'll go abroad and say they are 15 or 16 years. That is not the case. He started playing at the age of 16 years. In fact, it was 16 years, 362 days when he made his debut for Wales. So imagine a player that has been playing since he was 16 years old up to 33. That's like how many years? That's about 17 years. So played consistent football. Southampton, Tottenham, Real Madrid.
He even went to US.
He went to US MLS also. He won 5 Champions League. And he won 3 La Liga. He won Copa del Rey. And in September 2013, when Real Madrid bought him from Tottenham, he was the most expensive player in £85.6 million. What else? The only thing that is left for him to win is the World Cup. Can he win it? No. Even before this World Cup, some people are criticizing that he needs to give the younger ones the opportunity to shine. He doesn't need to be at the World Cup. He got there, he scored. He has been motivating the team. He has done a lot. I think this is the best time for him to really retire.
Good one. Let's talk about this. If you remember this goal, 2018 UEFA Champions League. Where he really did well coming on and he was able to score that particular goal. And really, if you look at Gareth Bale's career, yes, injury here and there and all that, but this is a player that is speed. I still remember what Javi said, he has never seen someone with that speed before. And Gareth Bale really retiring at 33, if you look at him, might be like, why is he retiring? But he has seen it all. There's nothing to prove again, both for club or for international football. The man from Wales right now drawing this football boot there that he won't be playing again, and he'll be facing every other thing that will be coming his way. Good one for him, hopefully. We wish him all the best. And while he was retiring, another player, this time around a goalkeeper for France, Hugo Lloris, who actually plays Dre for France and also for Tottenham Hotspur, also retire. Although this one for international football, not club football.
Yeah, for international football, and sincerely, when people make decisions, I wish we open our ears and look and listen to what they said. They said it is time for him to give the younger ones opportunity. That the French team does not belong to an individual. That is what we call selfless service. So that means he doesn't really want to continue to monopolize the team. Exactly. So he's looking at it that, okay, I've done my part, I need to go. He has been the captain of the he has been in the team since 2008. Okay, in 2000 and the last World Cup, he won the World Cup with them, and also he played final against Argentina. So there's nothing for him to prove when it comes to international football again. He has won everything that a player wants to win. The purpose of most of the the reason why players wants to play at the World Cup is to have to lift that World Cup, to feel how does it look like. The first one is, okay, let me play at the World Cup. Let me see,
and he was able to lift it.
Let everybody watch me. He did that. He played at the 4 World Cups. 4 World Cups. He won one. He played in final against Argentina. They just concluded one at Qatar. He played in the quarter final in Brazil. Then the first one also, he was there. In fact, their current coach Deschamps said he was very happy when he was leaving the French team as a captain, because he knew the person is giving the captain armband to is someone that has what it takes to lead the team, and he has led the team to glory. So this is the best time for him to give the younger ones the opportunity. At 36 years old, do you want him to go and keep again at the age of 40 years? Because he's 36 years old, he's 36 years old. So I think it's a very good one for him.
A very good one for him, Hugo Lloris there, at least retiring from international football, playing for the Les Bleus of France. He has done it, and also since, or at least he lifted the trophy when the ovation is very loud. Good one for all the retired players now. And before we go, we have a Nigerian called Ogenye Onazi. News just reaching us that he has actually joined a club in Bahrain called East Rifa club in Bahrain from Casatena of Italy, Serie D. He was playing with Serie D team called Casatena, but right now Ogenye Onazi has moved to join a Bahrainian team called East Rifa Club. At least he got a place.
Yeah, he got a place, but actually I think we need to take a clue from the likes of Beo and Hugo Lloris that just retired now. Look at when they started playing for their country at the age of 16, 20 years old. So they served their country for over 16, 17, and 20 years. That is what we need to start building in this country right now. We need to start building players, team that they will have longer period to play for us. We don't need like of Ogazi, or what did they call his name? Onazi. We don't need it. We don't need them again. We've had enough of all those players. We need to build a younger generation team that in the next 8, 12 years
they can consistently deliver.
Look at Messi, look at Di Maria, look at since when they've been playing together. Look at Luis Suarez. So that is what we need right now. We wish him all the best, but we need to build a younger generation team in Nigeria that can take us back to the glory days.
We need to build younger generation of players here in Nigeria. That will be it on 360 Sport. Olale Peters has been in the studio. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure being here, Adeni.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.